Hi everyone, I'm Babs Hogan, and the purpose of today's presentation is to highlight the top 12 slides for Domain 1. So let's take a look at those. We have two types of protein, essential and non-essential. Proteins are made of amino acids, and the essential amino acids need to be supplied through the diet because the body does not make them, whereas the non-essential amino acids are produced in the body. So in terms of carbohydrates, we really need to think about our metabolic health. And as you know, cheese does not have fiber, so that's something that we need to be thinking about, especially for those of us that eat a lot of cheese. We need to keep things moving, so we must add fiber. And also we need to decrease sugar, refined carbs, and processed flour. We've all heard about this for many years, and I think it's time that we do something, and I'm going to show you some statistics which will alarm you. So in terms of low carb food, cheese is one of the best choices because it has very low carb, at least the aged cheeses do. In addition, yogurt and kefir are also good choices as long as there's not sugar added. So the goal is to eat low sugar food to avoid a rapid insulin spike. So let's look at that. Okay, let's look at type 2 diabetes. 1.4 million Americans are diagnosed with this diabetes every single year, and that comes out to 3,835 each day. And if you calculate it even further, it would be 1 out of 23 seconds an American is diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I would say that's a problem. What about kids? In each year, about 5,000, a little over 5,000 kids are diagnosed. Now here's the thing about type 2 diabetes. It's an old person's disease. Old people get it, or at least that's how it's been for 100 years. Now children are getting it. And I have a lot to say about that, but it's beyond the scope of this presentation. So look at it globally. 1 million people that are diabetic have a limb amputated each year. And that comes out to 1 every 30 seconds. I would say we have a pretty big problem. And that goes back to the metabolic health that I was talking to you about earlier. So here's that insulin spike that we were mentioning. The high sugar food is going to increase the spike, go down, and you'll get hunger down in here. It'll go, as long as you eat some more, it's going to spike up a little higher, drop down, and come back up. So that's not a good thing because you end up hungry all the time, and you eat, frequently. And most of that is because there's not enough fat in the diet. Now let's look at the cheese aspect. So it's called a low GI, and that just means low sugar food. Notice the spike is much less severe versus the high GI, which is, the dessert, the cookies, the cakes, donuts, ding-dongs, whatever. When you have this very high spike, very quick spike, it comes down, and that creates a real severe hunger, and it starts all over again. So this is one reason why cheese is excellent food. So as you know from biology in high school, vitamin D and calcium and phosphorus all work together to build strong bones and teeth. And this, of course, applies to milk. So an 8-ounce glass of milk provides 30% of your daily intake of vitamin D. So this helps prevent rickets in children, and it helps prevent osteoporosis in adults. And it is a vitamin that is stored in the body fat, whereas B vitamins are not. So let's look at osteoporosis. This is an interesting chart here, an image where you can see the woman losing height. You can actually lose up to 6 inches in your skeletal system, and that's not good. So there is a vitamin that really helps transport the calcium out of the arteries and out of the kidneys into the bones and teeth, and that is vitamin K2. And this is something that most of us, in fact 90% of us, are deficient, and we are not getting enough vitamin 2. Actually, vitamin K2 is what I meant. And some cheeses are actually very high in vitamin K2, and I think that was noted in a different PowerPoint, but it's on my website if you want to take a look at those. But that would be a really good thing to know because a lot of people are deficient in vitamin K2, And as long as we have some calcium at the same time, the calcium tells the vitamin K2 vitamin K2 tells the calcium where to go. Without K2, calcium can float around and it will end up in our coronary arteries, which is, well, it's pretty bad. Okay, so you've heard of CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. These acids are found in the milk and the meat of grass-fed cows, and they have beneficial health benefits. So now if you'll, I'm gonna slow down. Grass-fed cows have more beneficial fatty acids than conventional fed cows, 2 to 5 times more CLA, and 62% more omega-3 fatty acids, which are awesome. So what are the benefits of CLA? They help reduce belly fat, lowers risk of cancer, lowers cholesterol, increases metabolism, and strengthens the immune system. So are you worried about heart health? Well, most of us are, since that's the #1 killer in our society. There was a study done in 2010 that showed that people who ate the most full-fat dairy versus the low and skim-fat dairy had 69% lower risk of cardiovascular deaths than those who ate the least. And I've listed the source there in case you want to look it up. So omega-3 fatty acids are really important, and they are in the full-fat yogurt and cheese products. And these are associated with weight loss, reduced blood pressure, decreased inflammation, fighting cancer, and preventing the brain from cognitive decline. I want to talk about that for a minute. In my research on this particular topic, I found that the Alzheimer's patients, dementia patients, and people who are depressed benefit from omega-3 fatty acids. And so, therefore, they need to eat omega-3 fatty acid type cheese. And these are made from the milk of pastured raised animals, yogurt and cheese. And in addition to the people that are having, the older people that are experiencing Alzheimer's and dementia, children benefit from omega-3 fatty acids. It helps their cognitive function also. You've hopefully have heard of Dr. Rachel Dutton, who is the head of the Dutton Lab at UC San Diego. And she and her team of microbiologists study cheese rinds. She gets cheese from Matteo Keller at Jasper Hill Farm. In fact, I interviewed Matteo, and the very first thing he said about cheese microbes was cheese is alive, and that's true. So cheese microbes help maintain a healthy gut. There's many beneficial bacteria in cheese. So guess which cheese has the greatest microbial diversity? A, B, or C? The answer is in this book on page 237, and if you don't have the book, I'll tell you the answer. It's B, except I don't know how to pronounce it. So that's it. Those are the top 12 slides. Actually, this one doesn't really count, so contact me. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. Also, if you're interested in other articles about the health benefits of cheese, just go to babshogan.com and go to the Healthy Cheese tab. And I hope all of you are studying very hard and learning a lot, and I hope you do really well on the test, and I will see you in Pittsburgh.